I never intended to follow the lantern into the hollow. It wasn't even really my lantern. I found it first, or maybe it found me. It doesn't matter which. All I know is that it waited at the edge of the overgrown park, right where the city's lights gave up and the shadows began. I saw it the night after the first absence. People disappeared in the city, not all at once. Not in riots or fires or headlines. They vanished quietly. A commuter walking home, a child in the schoolyard, a man waiting at the corner for a taxi. One night they were there and the next they were gone. The city murmured excuses. They moved. They left. It's temporary. But I saw the gaps. I saw where the lives used to be, like holes in the pattern of the city, and I felt them in the hollow where their laughter and footsteps had been. The lantern was different. It floated just above the grass, orange and wet with a light that seemed alive. It pulsed, but not steadily. It beat like a heart, like it was breathing, and it hummed. I didn't hear it with my ears. I felt it behind my eyes, vibrating in a way that made my teeth ache. That's why I went after it. That's why I had to. I stepped past the fence, the wire rusting under my fingers, and the grass swallowed my shoes. The city behind me blurred. Streetlights twisted into streaks, and the hollow opened before me like a mouth. It smelled of wet roots and iron. There was no sky above, only a heavy, black dome. The clouds pressing down so hard I could feel their weight on my chest. The lantern floated ahead, a tiny heart beating in a sea of darkness. When I called out, my voice sounded wrong, stretched and low, like it belonged to someone older. Someone who had swallowed years in a single gulp. But it answered anyway. Not in words exactly. In feelings. In whispers of heat and cold crossing my spine. Follow. I should have run. Anyone else would have. But I didn't. I moved deeper into the hollow. The shadows bent around me. Branches twisted their arms like the hands of the missing, reaching for me, but never touching. Every step left no footprint. Every breath made the air thinner. And always, the lantern pulsed, beating with a rhythm I couldn't name. After a long walk, or maybe only a minute, the hollow widened into a clearing. And there it was. The Village of Whispers. It didn't look like a village at first. There were no buildings, no roads, only hundreds of thin poles rising from the soil, tipped with tiny lanterns like mine. And beneath each lantern, a figure sat or stood, frozen. Some were adults, some children, some creatures I couldn't name, stretched beyond human shape, but still recognizably someone. I recognized a few faces from the missing. Not the missing officially, but people I'd known. People who had smiled at me in the past, now suspended like ink in water. The lantern that had led me floated to the center. A voice came from it, soft and terrible. "You are the collector now." I laughed, though it sounded hollow in my own ears. Collector of what? Of time, of absence, of the spaces left when the world forgets itself. You will learn. And then the lantern exploded, not into fire, but into thousands of threads of light. Each thread shot into the figures beneath the smaller lanterns. The light wrapped around them like silk, pulling something out of their eyes, their mouths, their hands. I realized then what the lanterns were, prisons for absence, not bodies. Every person missing from the city had been absorbed into this hollow. Their essence, their forgotten presence, their gaps in time, had been woven into these lanterns. And now it was me, the intruder, who would decide what stayed and what was released. I tried to step back, but the hollow laughed. Or perhaps the laughter came from inside me. My own shadow stretched long and thin, twisting into a shape I did not recognize. And then the lantern's voice whispered again. "Do you want to keep them?" I didn't know what to say. I wanted to scream, but the sound had no teeth. I wanted to run, but the ground had become glass, cracking with every step. I could only nod. "Then choose," it said. But no, for every one you release, something will come to take its place. Nothing in this hollow leaves without debt. I walked among the poles, tracing the threads of light, touching each figure. A child who had laughed too loudly at the park. A man who had worn the same coat for 20 years. A woman whose name I never knew. They were hollow inside, missing pieces of themselves, and I realized with terror that the missing were not gone. They were waiting, holding their absence like a lantern in their chest. I could release them, yes, but the debt would not vanish. The hollow would feed, as it always did, and the next absence would come from me, from my family, from the city I had left behind. I began with the child. I whispered, "Go," though the words were mine and not mine at the same time. The thread of light unwound, coiling into the sky, then vanished. The child dissolved into a moment of laughter, a memory left in a parent's mind, a gap in the world filled again. The hollow side. It tasted like wet wood and iron and old sorrow. Then I released a woman, then a man, then a child I had never met. Each time the hollow breathed through me, taking a part of me to balance what it had given. I could feel my own essence thinning, my heart pulsing slower, my memories fading like smoke. But the lantern's voice continued. "You are learning. You are becoming a keeper." I wanted to run. I wanted to break the hollow and destroy the lantern, but I could not. I was tethered now, bound by the same absence I had always feared. The hollow wanted a guardian, and it had chosen me. Hours, days, or minutes passed. I no longer knew. Time itself had become a rumor here, whispered between poles of light. I could see the city outside, sometimes a blur of streets and towers, but the people in it were shadows without substance. They had been emptied, leaving the gaps I had seen. And then the lantern pulsed differently. One figure remained. It was me, or it would have been. My absence stretched before me like a long road. My reflection hung beneath the lantern, a pale figure with eyes wide and blinking. And the lantern said, "You will live outside the hollow. You will return, but you will carry it within you. Every absence you witness, every person you forget, every shadow that comes undone, you will feel it in the marrow of your bones. You will never be free." I nodded because there was nothing else to do. My own reflection began to move, slowly at first, then running. I felt my body again, wet grass under my shoes, wind in my hair, city lights twisting, but it was different. Every person I saw, every friend I loved, every stranger passing by, they were lanterns to me now, each heartbeat a thread I could follow or unravel. I returned to the park where it had begun. The lantern was gone. No light, no hum, no promise. The city resumed its indifferent rhythm. But I knew. I always knew. And in the quiet, I could feel the hollow waiting, just at the edge of everything. It wasn't angered. It wasn't kind. It simply existed. And I, a girl who had wandered too far, carried its absence with me. Some nights, when the wind shifts just so, I hear it calling. Not my name, not anyone's. It is the space between voices, the emptiness behind laughter, the weight of everyone the world has forgotten. And I feel the pulse in my teeth again. It is alive, and I am its keeper.